all the running here, and today with me I have the Nike Pegasus 37 in this super clean all white look with this oversized black logo that I got made custom on Nike.com. I've been running this shoe for about 2 weeks now, and I've racked up roughly 60 miles on them. This includes long runs, workouts, as well as some easy runs. And throughout these 63 miles, I can confidently say that this is the most versatile running shoe that I have ever worn. As with previous models of this shoe, this is Nike's everyday trainer. It's got 24 millimeters of height in the heel and 14 millimeters of height in the forefoot, making for about a 10 millimeter drop. The shoe weighs in at about 8.9 ounces in a men's size 10 and roughly 8 ounces in a women's size 8. And because every single one of my shoes has 2,300 square feet inside with 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, mine weigh 11.4 ounces approximately. This is a size 12, just to give you an idea about how weight increases as shoe size increases. I think this is this is the most beautiful shoe that I've ever ran in. Obviously, because I had mine custom made, mine are aesthetically going to be a little bit different than the stock ones. I think that the stock ones have the Nike logo right here instead of having it oversized and over here. I just prefer this look. I think it looks a lot more sleek, a lot more minimal. It's really my style. So let's talk about some of the aesthetic differences between this Pegasus 37 and the previous model. The back heel taper comes up a little bit more, and this is actually a little bit shorter here. And the upper is a little bit more translucent, as you can see. It's also a little bit more breathable, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Now, other than aesthetic differences, there are some other physical changes that the shoe went through and moving into this next generation of Pegasus. So, of course, you have the fully rubberized outsole that hasn't changed in a peg in forever. But what is new is the midsole. So instead of having that Cushlon foam that was on the other Pegasus models, this now has React foam, and you really can feel the difference. The React foam, it seems very dense, it seems very solid, it doesn't seem very airy, but it still is very, very comfortable and very, very smooth. The airbag is also different in the Pegasus 37. I believe in the previous Pegasus, the airbag went through the entire midsole. You could feel it through the entire midsole. But instead, on the Pegasus 37, it's only in the forefoot, and I believe that they moved it up just a little bit more. And you can definitely feel the airbag when you're running, especially when you first put them on for the very first time. You're gonna notice that the shoe is surprisingly soft. You would think that because of the React foam that it'd be a little bit more rigid, but to be honest, this shoe is a lot softer than I expected. The airbag also varies between the men's shoe and the women's shoe. The men's shoe is a little bit more pressurized. I believe that the men's shoe has about 20 psi of pressure within the airbag, and the women's has 15 psi within the airbags. And the reason that the airbag is different between the men's shoe and the women's shoe is because Nike talked to some of their women Nike Pegasus wearers, and they wanted a less stiff ride, so that's why the pressure is a little bit less. So I'm guessing that the women's shoe is a little bit softer. But yeah, this airbag is awesome. It offers a level of responsiveness that other shoes find difficult to replicate, especially when the shoe still feels this soft. So something that's also different and unique to the shoe is if you order them custom, you can get toggle laces instead of the regular laces. And I ended up getting the toggle laces just because I wanted to try them out and see if there'd be any differences, especially as a runner. And to be honest, there aren't really that many differences. These are super easy to put on because of the toggle lacing system. But something that I also found is that these are difficult to take off because of the toggle lacing system. In the summer, I get quite a bit sweaty, and that sweat kind of gets onto my hands. So when I need to take the shoe off to press the toggle button, my hands are sweaty, and I'm like, I can't even, pull it up. But when your hands are dry, it's really quite easy to tighten and untighten them. But when your hands are sweaty, good luck, because it's kind of difficult. Also, I think that this lacing system is responsible, perhaps for the flip-flop effect that I was getting on this shoe. And when I say flip-flop effect, I mean my heel is kind of coming up out of the shoe, kind of like a flip-flop would. But I found that this problem went away once I figured out how to properly tighten this toggle lacing system, because it does take a little bit of getting used to, because most running shoes are just using regular laces. So as I was saying earlier, the shoe is quite soft. It's surprisingly soft, to be completely honest. I really expected these to be a little bit more firm and like super responsive, similar to the feeling that I had back when I was wearing the Pegasus 35s, but that is not the case at all. These are really surprisingly soft, and I'm guessing that's because of the new React foam and the way that they've done the airbag. But just because they are soft does not mean that they are not responsive. This is where that versatility starts to come in, because I've ran long runs in this shoe. In fact, I ran a half marathon PR in this shoe just on a long run day. And I found that the softness was nice, but it was also responsive enough to kind of give me that spring that I needed during that long run. And also it really works well for workouts as well. And that's why I say it's super versatile. I was able to go fast. I was able to pick up the pace, go sub-6 pace in this shoe with no problem. I was also able to run easy runs because, you know, the shoe is quite soft. So if I were to get one shoe, if I was only allowed to get one shoe, I should say, it'd be definitely this shoe. I mean, it's really the jack of all trades. Now, some people may have some complaints about the weight of the shoe, and that may contribute to some people believing that it is a little bit less versatile. But to be honest, I kind of like my shoes just a little bit on the heavy side, because when you take your heavy shoes off and you put spikes on, it really makes such a huge difference. You really get to see that difference a little bit more. So that's why I like to wear a little bit heavier shoes as everyday trainers, rather than having multiple shoes that are light or that cater towards a certain running style. So yeah, I like the weight of the shoe personally. Obviously, opinions may vary, but I like the weight of the shoe. So lastly, I'd like to talk about the durability of the shoe. So the shoe that I had before this was the Clifton 6, and the Clifton 6 lasted me quite a bit of time. It lasted me for about 400 miles on one pair. But after that, I started to, you know, have a little bit of issues and, you know, a little bit of pains and here and there. But this shoe, I really feel like it's gonna last quite a bit of time. Because as I was saying, that React midsole, it's very solid, you know, it feels very dense, it feels very durable. And in combination with the completely rubberized outsole, I think that this shoe is gonna be very, very durable. Now, something that I am a little bit concerned about though, is the toggle lacing system. I really wonder how this is gonna hold up over the next, 350 miles, and if this shoe can make it to 400 miles just because of the lacing system. But obviously laces are something that are super easy to replace, so if this ever, I don't know, if the toggle ever broke off or if this end ever snapped off, I feel like I'd be able to, you know, replace the laces, so it's really not that big of a deal. So a quick recap. This is the Versatility King. I love this shoe for all the runs that I've done. Easy runs, interval runs, tempo runs, long runs. I really think that this shoe can really fit for most people. If you really only want one pair of shoes, this would be the shoe that I would recommend. I mean, it really is a great running shoe. I really haven't had any problems with it. No injuries, obviously. 60 miles is a little bit of a short distance to see if any injuries pop up, but perhaps I can make an update video once I hit 300 or so miles in these. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.